Hello, everyone. All right, I decided to create a fun entertainment space for the legacy challenge I'm doing. And if you're new here, no, it's not something that I'm, you know, doing on YouTube. It's just my own gameplay. Um, But I wanted to create a bowling alley and allow my Sims to go there and kind of hang out once they reach, teenagers, that type of thing. So I decided to go ahead and build this. I set this up as a karaoke bar. And the reason for that is when I was in my early 20s, I went to a small town bar that was in a bowling alley and they had karaoke. So I just thought that would be fun to kind of represent. Now, this is not based on that bar bowling alley at all, like except for the fact that it's a bar and bowling alley together. So, yeah, other than that, I just kind of did whatever I wanted to, but that was kind of where this idea came from. And I'm excited to play in this. I haven't played in it as of recording. I will be play testing this later today, but I finished everything up last night and got pictures done just before recording and wanted to get this up and going because, I have things to do today. But the main thing with this is I also designed it with the updates to Carls Dine Out mod, where you can do an entertainment type center. Now, that being said, it's not centered around that mod. I also designed it so you could use it, without having to own it. As I said, I want it to be a place where my Sims can hang out. I'm not going to be running this, at least not anytime soon. I might eventually. It kind of seems like it might be fun. But for the time being, I did design this so you can use it without having to, own it. So the other thing I did with this is I did put an arcade in. You'll see that in a little bit. And then we have, of course, a bar area. And what I thought when I was doing this build is the backstory for this is that maybe these were once two separate buildings. Okay. And someone bought this bigger area to create an entertainment type thing. So bowling alley, whatever. And they bought it, they started getting the ideas together, and they thought it might be fun to get together with the person who owned the bar next door and maybe do like some, cross promotion stuff. Now, I'm going to state this. The original builds, in my mind, were not hooked together. So, really the area from like where the stairs start to go down to the bowling area over to where the bar door was just, space between the two buildings. That's kind of my thought process on that. So anyway, when they approached the bar owner, who was an elderly gentleman getting ready to retire, he said, "Here, I'll just sell you my bar." And so they just, did that. And the entertainment owner combined the two buildings together. And we have what my finished product will be. Yeah, I know. I gotta have a story. I just thought it was fun to kind of create this backstory as to why the bar looks so different from the bowling alley part. And that's just because they wanted to keep that same, look to the bar. It's just fun. And that is a little reminiscent of the bar that I went to, and to sing karaoke, by the way. I mean, that's the main reason I went. I actually started going there when I was 19, 20. So, and it was to sing karaoke. And yeah, it just, the bar itself was a little bit older looking, a little more traditional wood bar like. And that's kind of the vibe I went for here. So here in the arcade, I put tons of these little arcade machines in. Okay, big arcade machines in. We didn't have a lot of options. I really wish we had more. I'm hoping the gaming system works. I haven't played with that, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. I am going to go play test it. And if I have to rearrange a few things, that might look a little different once this goes live. So keep that in mind. But really, I just wanted to create kind of a fun little space that, families could go to, teen hangout, that type of thing. However you want to do this in your game. It does use multiple packs. Because originally I was thinking maybe like limiting them, but then when I'm like, I want an arcade, I want the bar, it got to be too much to try to limit. So it does use multiple packs. I also, as I said, set this up so that you can use it. You could use it as a generic lot. You might have to hire your bartenders. And there is going to be like a little cafeteria section that I put in later. And, just some other things. But I created it as a karaoke bar because that would get you a bartender and you can use the bowling. So yeah, it works. And I know that will work out just fine. I have built one of these before. I didn't build it for a video. I just did it for myself, so it was a small build. But so I know the bar bowling alley combo works for sure. But here, I played around with this, the colors for this, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I love the wood colors in here. It screams that, very classic, I don't know, pub. I guess, if you think about that, more of a pub style. I did use stuff from Discover University. Of course, the karaoke from City Living. So as I said, once I kind of realized this was going to be like, it was just going to take multiple bags to begin with. So I did try to focus a lot in the bowling alley on the bowling stuff pack. And here, there's a lot of the City Living bar stuff. There's a couple of Dine Out things. I kind of figured with this, having Dine Out in there, if you're using the mod for it, it doesn't matter to you. But I also want to say that unfortunately, right around this time, as I'm putting this wall and the bench in that'll go in here in a minute, my computer decided to just freeze. So I ended up losing the entire bar space. So you'll see, like, I'm redoing these counters, redoing all this. I think I got it pretty dang close to what was there originally. But yeah, I lost the whole bar. I had to redo everything. I did that off camera because I'm like, it's already done. And, I had just done it. So I actually had, enough time to run through and do it real quick without trying to set up the recording again, because of course I had to restart my computer. And I usually do these builds before I start my day job. So I was a little time limited that day. So I'm like, I'll just really quickly run it through without having to worry about restarting and recording and getting all that set up. But yeah, so hopefully it's very similar to what it was. I do change a few things, I think, later on in the build. I'm not sure if I record that. I can't remember. I just edited this and I can't remember. But anyway, here I'm creating this kind of dining space. I did put in the cafeteria from high school years. However, as I said, if you wanted to use Carls Dine Out mod, where that cafeteria is would be a great spot to just throw in the counter kitchen and do that. So I kind of created that with that idea in mind that you could do that. So I just put up a wall around it and a door. I mean, you don't have to. I think you can just set it right in. I'm not sure. But, oh yes, you can. I've designed a restaurant where it was set right in. Never mind. I do know the answer to that question. So here I'm just trying to play around with decor and what I wanted to do. And decided that, you know what, this is the food area. I'm going to use food stuff. And that's what I did. The other thing with this is I really hope that we can get teens and kids here. I currently use a mod that allows me to be like, I want toddlers, I want teens, I want, yeah. Because I think, that's the point of the lot. So hopefully doing it as like a karaoke bar, you might be able to get more people there. The other option, because you can run it as anything really, would be maybe just a generic lot. But I think both of those should work. And as I said, I'm going to play test it and play around a little bit. But those are the ideas I have for it. I also could not figure out exactly what I wanted to do on the outside of this. So I do play around with that a little bit. I probably spent, I want to say, a good half hour just trying to figure out the outside look for this. And I still end up adding some things after I finish the build. So, just a heads up, the end photos will look a little different than what you saw me build. Not a lot. I didn't take anything away, except for the roof. I did change that, so I took that away and put something else there. But I did add a few things, like lighting that I didn't do, things like that. So, yeah. So it'll look a little different. But, in general, I changed, I think, a couple things on the inside. I added a few more lights there. But nothing too crazy. Like, nothing's, like, crazy changed. Again, I haven't play tested it yet, but looking at it, most everything should be playable. And it should work. Like I said, the only thing I really had a question on would be the arcade and how that all works, just because I haven't played with the game systems hooked to the TVs, like, at all. And maybe the stage area. I just want to make sure that you can use all of the stuff that's up there. But other than that, everything else should work just fine. For The Sims. I should preface that. Because we know what happens in bowling alleys with The Sims, right? Half the time they don't bowl. Alright, so here I wanted the fun light effect, and I really need to use these more sized up. because they're like perfect for what I'm usually looking for. So I need to remember to do that because they're awesome and I love them. So, okay. So this little section here, I spent a whole lot of time looking at stuff. I debated about filling it in as a cool little garden space. And then I just put this tree here and realized I just like the tree here. So the other thing, I think you're seeing this look a little choppy again. No, I'm not having more issues. I think my OneDrive started up again because I have it set for like 2-hour limits. So I think my OneDrive started up again. So that usually does that. So we're coming up to the end of the build here, and you'll see all the fun changes I made. So I added these lights, and I did change the roof. I added just some roof decorations and stuff up there. So, all right, I'll let you guys take a look at the inside photos, and I'll be back. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this build. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm thinking I'm going to have a lot of fun playing in it. All right, I'd love to know what kind of community builds you would like me to start working on. I really am kind of open to anything right now. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you Tuesday. Bye now.